Welcome to The Vinyl Guide, the podcast for record collectors and music nerds. Here's your host, the biggest record nerd of them all, Nate Goyer.
Well, hey everyone, it's Nate. Welcome to episode 509 of The Vinyl Guide, the podcast for record collectors and music nerds. And today, dear people, we are featuring Butthole Surfers frontman and lightning rod, Mr. Gibby Haynes. And those of you familiar with the band and Gibby recognize that he can be very unpredictable and very exciting, very funny. And this conversation will no doubt reflect those assumptions. We do speak about the records. Apparently there's a Butthole Surfers box set in the works, as well as the Whole Truth documentary, which we hope to see this year. We talk about those. We talk about near-death experiences on stage. We talk about the band in popular culture, like The Simpsons and Beavis and Butthead. We even discuss the early punk shows and Gibby's upcoming tour of Europe and the UK. This is throughout the month of August. Gibby will be in Helsinki, Estonia, Prague, Berlin, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, London, Birmingham, and Dublin. Tickets and info are at tonedeaftouring.com/Gibby. Got your pens out here. Write this down again. tonedeaftouring.com/Gibby. Any European or UK listeners, head over there and grab your tickets. I'll put the link in this episode page as well. Also to note, there is another hour of Gibby and I completely talking shit, and that's available on our Patreon page, patreon.com/vinylguide. Now, if you're a supporter of the show, you get an extra 50 plus minutes of Gibby and I discussing a myriad of topics ranging from the Ocean Gate submarine to celebrity deaths, to yacht rock, to movie monkeys from the 1970s, and lots more. It's so fun. That extra hour is only available at patreon.com/vinylguide. So head over there now. If you're not already a supporter of the show, you could join anytime. Head over there now. Help support the show. Again, you get the extra 50 plus minutes of Gibby and I completely being goofy and talking shit. Oh man, some good belly laughs there. Alrighty, everyone, strap in. Let's talk to Gibby Haynes about his upcoming tour and the legacy of Butthole Surfers. Gibby, thank you so much for taking the time. I've always wanted to have you on the show, and it's very timely. This tour with Scott Thunes going out to Europe. It's only a handful of dates. What are the odds that will expand at any point, even go beyond Europe and the UK?
Oh, zero. But, these are like kids. They have lives to lead.
So with Scott Thunes, touring with the Thunes Institute of Musical Excellence, he's a former bassist and clone meister of Frank Zappa. Were you a fan of Zappa?
Oh yeah, totally. And I really liked, are you familiar with his records?
Oh, that I'm familiar with, yes.
Oh, so Apostrophe blew me away. And I had been, a friend of mine's brother had, what was at the time, it was the most expensive record ever recorded. And an early Mother's double album.
Oh, what would it be? Freak Out.
Yes. What an album cover. What an emblem for the psychedelic 60s. After Apostrophe, he continued with this just poo-poo jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And he lost me after Apostrophe. I was like, cool, he did his poo-poo album, and we can go on to maybe urine or vomit or something. But he totally just the Joe's Garage. A lot of people love Joe's Garage, but I think that was the follow-up to Apostrophe, right?
No, there was a bunch, but eventually
there were several after Apostrophe before Joe's Garage.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow. So I did lose him.
Well,
I did lose him.
Joe's Garage has a guy fucking a vacuum cleaner, so I guess that's something.
A guy literally having sex with a vacuum cleaner?
Or pluking a vacuum cleaner, I believe. Yes. That's what they call it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe give it another listen.
Wow, I had never. Yeah, he was preoccupied with sex as well, besides just body functions, which is a body function.
Sure.
But he was a real body function kind of guy.
He certainly didn't shy away from it. He would bring
He
that up.
embraced,
Yeah.
he embraced it. Come on.
So you are familiar with Zappa's work. You were a bit of a fan, and Scott has a
Was that album called Freak Out?
Freak Out. Yeah, the double one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So Scott, again, being the clone meister, he was the guy who looked after the band when Frank couldn't. So he's a bit of a taskmaster, or at least has a reputation of such. How did you get connected with Scott?
You know, you've mentioned his name a couple of times, and I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. Is he related to what? Go ahead. I'll let you. I feel like I'm constantly interrupting you. So who the fuck is Scott?
Well, I think that's who you're touring with, right?
Scott
Thunes, the Thunes Institute of Musical Excellence.
Well, that's probably okay. So for like 20 years, I've worked with Paul Green.
Yeah.
And that was Paul Green's School of Rock, and that's really my only connection. I like talk to Paul, and then I play with the kids. Oh. So I don't know, Scott. He may be coming on the tour. I had no idea that a friend of Paul Green's was a Zappa person.
Oh, okay. I must have misread the press release, because it sounds like I got the impression you guys were collaborating and he was helping run the band. So that's kind of what you're doing. You're playing with younger performers, teenagers, that kind of age.
There you go.
And this isn't the first time you've toured with kids. In Butthole Surfers, you did as well. So I guess this is kind of something that you really have a strength in.
I personally toured, just individually toured with the kids several times. Mm-hmm. And of course, they're different kids every time. One time the Butthole Surfers did a tour in Europe, and the School of Rock kids warmed up for us. Mm-hmm. But other than that, any involvement with the School of Rock and the Butthole Surfers has just been me individually. And oh my God, sometimes they're really, really good. And sometimes they're not. But we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes this time. Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Well, it's going to be interesting. That could be okay too. I'd love to see it, and I'll bet that you have a special connection with those kids. You seem to strike me as someone who has the level of curiosity and fascination and energy that would go well with them.
Well, we'll see this time around.
So a lot of what we talk about here on the show are records and collectibles. I would imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would imagine you've had quite a few records in your lifetime, but I'm not sure how many of them lasted very long. Would that be a fair assumption?
Oh my God. Oh, I could go on about it. But our first tour that the Butthole Surfers ever like legitimately went on, other than just inside Texas, we were like, okay, we're going on a national tour, and it was like a 2-month ordeal. So I let our engineer of our first album, I stored my shit at his house, and he stole my stereo, and he stole my entire record collection. And that record collection was awesome. I mean, I was just thinking about the other day, I had, there's so many good ones that, it's not that it's the greatest thing in the world, but the Buzzcocks 45 collection, it's like 3 45s, singles going steady.
Yep.
Do you know that one?
I do.
I had that. I had early punk rock and hardcore of every ilk, and it was like maybe I wonder how many. It was probably one, two. It's probably 3.5, 4 feet of records was my collection. Not that huge, and you know what I mean by 4 feet of records, right?
Yeah.
So that's not that many, but still, they were good ones. I had trimmed. I'd gotten rid of most everything that was fluff. I trimmed the fluff and just had the good ones. There were so many records. There was a guy. This was in San Antonio where I met Paul Leary, our guitar player, and whatever. I had a good record connection there in a mall, and I would go in there and like after I hadn't been there for a couple of months, I go in and like, what do you got that's new? And he turned me on. That guy turned me on to so many cool records. I remember he had just gotten one. He was like, you got to check this out. Devo's first album.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, they finally came up with an album because I had a 45 of theirs, and I had no idea back then, like communicating, like it was just fanzines. There was no way of getting immediate information from real-time information from anybody. So like a Devo album snuck up on me, like all of a sudden I had it. But there were so many good ones that I got from that mall record store. But the key to my record buying, the key to my 4 feet of records was a hitchhiking trip that I took to LA when I was in college, and I met a guy out there that just turned me on to the shit and took me to all the great record stores.
What year was this? This is probably late 70s, maybe?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. 79. Summer of 79.
Okay. So you hitchhiked out there. You met up with some people. You bought a shit ton of records. Did you see any shows? Do you remember seeing any early punk shows in LA?
Oh my God. Do you remember Erg, a music festival?
I don't think I do. No.
They did an album to they made live recordings of it. It was an early not necessarily early Golden Voice, but it was the Golden Voice. It was one of their first big productions. And it was a music festival, which was kind of unheard of at the time, but it was on 2 or 3 different venues. I forgot, like the Whiskey, Santa Monica Civic, and maybe a couple of others, but I saw, early, a good one in LA. I saw the Go-Go's warm up for Fear.
Oh yeah. There we go.
And it was at the Starwood, which you don't know what that is, but it's a weird spot. And how I got there is a whole other story. But at the end of the night, I ended up in the hospital with a pretty intense head injury and a totaled car. But the Go-Go's, like LA was a spitting town. It was the only spitting town in the United States.
So gobbing, what the UK they call gobbing, is that what I'm getting?
The only town in the United States that gobbed was LA. And I don't know why I brought that up.
It must be a vivid memory.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh my God. We played, there was one gig we played with with Pill. And I forgot the venue, but some kid just hawked up a ginormous like lung rooster, and and that's the first time I've ever said lung rooster, by the way. But it landed on Teresa's ride cymbal, and it stayed there for I'm sure I bet we've got that cymbal in storage with a green, and of course, it oxidized into a green stain in the shape of a lung rooster. And that was just a side spitting story. But at the Go-Go's show, it's pretty crowded, not that crowded. I was kind of like, woo, not that many, because this was like big time LA punk rock.
Mm-hmm.
And there was so much phlegm on Belinda Carlisle's chest that it was flowing down her chest and down in between her cleavage, and you could totally see it was like the Texas hill country of phlegm.
You know, Gibby, I would do anything to change the subject about now.
But when Belinda was there, and like, I don't know, 4 or 5 songs into it, I just remember stomping her feet going, stop, just stop, please stop. And John Belushi was standing next to me. And like, I didn't know him. I wasn't hanging out with John Belushi, but all of a sudden some guy next to me he was like, oh my God, who do I throw up on? And it was John Belushi was just standing next to me. And he was friends with Lee Ving.
Right. Yeah.
Famously. So that was a good show. I almost saw the Dickies last show. Which is a good one. Yeah, I know. Which is a good one because it wasn't because I didn't make it. It was because they didn't make it. The show was canceled at the last minute. So I almost saw the Dickies, which really would have been cool.
Yeah, well, they're still going.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yeah.
Did they stop and then keep on? I didn't know that. That makes sense.
I'm not sure how long they stop for, but I've seen them throughout the years. They're great.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
In fact, I saw them last year in Orange County. So yeah, they're still trucking on.
What is that? That guitar player is badass.
Stanley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tremendous. Have you ever considered, I'm sure you have, writing a book, getting all these stories documented before you leave this plane?
Well, I wrote a book.
You wrote the book, the Me and Mr. Cigar's Children?
Well, just Me and Mr. Cigar, but yeah. I want to do a sequel, but and my wife gives me shit for it because I say memoir.
Yeah.
Instead of memoir.
Oh, you fancy.
Yeah. That's what she says. Ooh, French. Ooh. But I don't like those. Musician memoirs are always like 9 out of 10 just shit shows. It's like, not that it's like, hey, Anthony, who wrote your book? Hey,
Mm-hmm.
it's those guys never wrote their own books. Memoirs are like exclusively not written in the music world. It seems that they're not written by whose memories they are. It seems that way. But Bobby Zimmerman, little Bobby Zimmerman, he wrote his own. Old, what's her name? Patti Smith, she wrote her own.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few guys that have written their own memoirs.
Yeah, but that's not always a muscle that is fully matured. I guess the writing of a book. So having someone to help you through the process, I think that's always helpful. I've read some artists' books that they wrote themselves, and it's just they're really tough to get through.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that, but then again, they didn't have any. They shouldn't have written that book.
Well, I get someone like like Jim Rulin. He helped. He worked with Keith Morris, and he's written a couple books, or helped a couple others with books. And I think he just helps them get the story out. He gets the story out and kind of puts it in a sequence that helps the reader get through it. Because otherwise it could be very disjointed. Anyway, that is a book I would love to read it. At
There's
some point.
also a problem with musicians able to craft a successful paragraph.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a problem.
So
it's a problem. Have you ever written a book by any chance? You're a writer, right?
I have no. I don't write. I've written long form before, but I don't know. It's just not something that I want to spend time with.
Yep. Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah. So how is it that you look back at your legacy at this point? I know there's plenty of
have
years.
To.
Yeah.
How is it? I'm
Yeah.
forced to. I wish I could look forward to it, but it's just not going to happen that way.
Well, you got some great stuff coming up, and you've got a lot of years left in you that you can keep going. But there's more. What the end is closer than the beginning these days. When you look back, what do you see for yourself?
You mean like, do I believe in an afterlife?
Well, do you?
That's a good question. There's some really smart people that are like, maybe. Mm-hmm. Like, there's some really smart, oh God. Like, there's some badass, what do you call, really aggressive atheists have written that they're not sure that there isn't an afterlife. And I like that. So hopefully an afterlife. And before that, I want to write another book, make a great painting or two.
Mm-hmm. You're still painting quite a bit. Where can people see your work, or you have any shows or anything coming up?
Yeah, no, I don't really do that. Occasionally, I'll put stuff in shows, in group shows, but I've never really had a legit solo show at a decent gallery.
Right. Okay.
But I and it's kind of weird. I love that world. To me, it's weird. Like, am I an entertainer or am I a musician? Well, neither. But it seems like most rockers are entertainers and are not. They're not musicians for some reason.
Right.
Because all they do is play three chords on a 50s Les Paul, whatever.
Well, it's
super expensive.
Yeah.
Guitar.
Like, what do you consider a musician?
Someone that people call a musician. What you're known as. And it's like in this world, in the rock and roll world, it's entertainment. It's not talent. It's not a talent. Well, it is talent driven, but not necessarily just instrument talent.
Well, if I may, I would certainly consider you an entertainer, because
Yeah.
you do music, you do visuals, you conduct the audience when you're live. There's a lot of things that you do, and you entertain. If you take someone who does music as a side, like, I don't know, bad example, but Bruce Willis, right?
Dude, I was right there. I was right on top of Bruce Willis, which is really sad because of his current situation. But I personally think that rockers make better movie stars than movie stars make rockers. Yeah. Does that? I'm tied to that one.
Yeah.
And maybe there's more. I don't know which one there's more of. It seems like there's more movie stars that think they're musicians or rockers. But who's okay? There you go, Bruce Willis. Who is the best actor that crossed over into music?
So I don't know which came first, but I do think Childish Gambino.
Ooh, nice. Wow, that's a wild one. I'm almost 70 years old, dude. So I'm gonna go older.
Okay.
But yeah, that's wild. I had no idea. You got any others?
Oh, you know what? Lady Gaga.
No shit.
Dude, I watched in the movies she's been in, well, not the Joker one, but Star is Born, and there was the one about I think the Gucci family. She's incredible in those.
That's so, like I said, rockers make better actors than actors make rockers. But
are you saying you don't like Russell Crowe's band?
What, 50 yards of poop? What's the name of his band? What's the name of his band?
4 feet of vinyl. No, yeah, 50 yard of grunts.
Isn't it 50 odd?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, 50 odd foot of grunts or something like that. Which, he's from Australia. It should be meters at least, right?
Yeah.
13.2 meter of grunts. So, for instance, like looking at your art, you did art on several album covers. You did the P cover. You did the cottage cheese from the Lips of Death. That sort of art is fascinating. Where can someone kind of get more of that?
From my bedroom. I store it all.
Okay. What time is it open? What are the hours?
Yeah, I have a lot of those. One time I was saying I've never really done any serious. Have you ever lived in LA?
I spent a lot of time there.
There was a group show at, I think they called it Bergamot Center. Do you know that place in LA?
I don't. I've heard the name.
Anyway, it was like a strip mall of art galleries in between, closer to Santa Monica than LA. But I was in a group show there one time that all of the other people in the show were musicians.
Mm.
And at the opening, you're familiar when you go to a gallery and you go to openings, you know, the little dots,
red dots when they're sold. Yeah.
Yes. All of mine were red dotted at the before the thing opened up. They were all sold in advance, and then I came and brought them some more because I shouldn't have. But the David Yao, you know David Yao is, right?
Yeah.
So Yao went to the show, and he was like, "Dude, it was the coolest thing ever." It's like Sonic Youth had three band members were in the show as well.
Wow.
No red dots.
Oof.
I was the only red dotter, and David Yao was like, "Dude, like I didn't really notice it. That I was happy I sold my shit, but I didn't really notice it that much." And then he pointed it out, and I was really happy.
Yeah.
And I was happiest that David Yao, of all people, would have noticed.
Well, there's a musician that's a great actor.
Oh wow, yes, he is. He is indeed.
Yeah.
He really is. And he hasn't had the chance to really show it.
Have you seen the movie Free LSD?
No.
Yeah, it's a movie. He's starring in it. It was made by the band Off. You know, the punk band Off with Keith Morris and Dimitri Coates.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made a movie about a year ago called Free LSD, and David is, one of the key actors. He does a great job.
Wow. That's too much. Who had the interest in Off or making a movie?
Well, they did it, and they made it happen. It's actually a very professional, very good movie. I'll send you a copy if you want it.
Wow. Yeah. I had no idea.
Who would you say are some of your good friends that are in the music industry? Some people you still stay in close contact with?
People that I know, the good folks. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of guys, and it's usually whenever they come in town, and it's fun. Like some of my friends that have gone on to big, like Chili Peppers, and so I can, what's Dave's? What's Dave Grohl's band?
Oh, the Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters, yeah. Foo Fighters, so huge. Look, when those guys have come to town, it's really fun to take my kid to the shows. And I'm like, dude, you're not gonna be able to do this for every rock show you go to, but like when like just because of how old I am and everything. Like, have you ever gotten like backstage pass to the big show and it doesn't get you dick? Like, you can't go anywhere. It's like, I can go backstage and nothing. Like, maybe hang out with some people in wheelchairs to get an autograph from the bass player or something.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they give me the keys to the fucking castle, dude. Oh. And with my son, it's like, come on, let's go. Let's go. This is our time at we've been to some great stadiums together.
Oh, you get the AAA pass. Now, how old's your son?
He's 15.
15. Okay. Now, what does he think of his dad?
I don't know. I know what he says. I have no idea. I mean, I have no idea. He says he loves me all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe too often.
Got to work on that. Yeah, because I've gotten my kids backstage before. They don't really kind of have as much of an appreciation. Like their mind isn't blown like I hoped it would be.
Oh yeah. I totally. Yep. Yeah, that's why I was like, dude, this ain't gonna be like this always when you go to a rock show.
Except in my 18-year-old, when he turned 18, which is the drinking age here in Australia, he got to go backstage and drink up the rider from the Dwarves. So that was the one that he found value in.
Wow, wow. So y'all went to the Dwarves?
Yeah, went back, and then they were like, "Hey, you want a beer?" Okay, that's when he was like, "All right." That's when he saw the potential there. But any other shows we went to, it was kind of like, oh, this is dad's music.
What is the there's that. But do you know the Dwarves? The fight was it the Dwarves and? There's some fight that the singer of the Dwarves got into with, was it Queens? No, not Queens. Was it, what's the other band from the same town? Who's close to the Queens of the Stone Age? Same town. Josh.
Death metal. Was it Eagles of Death Metal?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Which, for that, I don't know what town that was, but that is the best town for band names in the United States. The Eagles of Death Metal and Queens of the Stone Age, like, I know there's a similarity in the phrasing and the use of the word of, but I think they've done well as a town for naming bands.
Yeah, yeah. Although I would argue that Butthole Surfers is still, right up at the top of the list when it comes to band names, memorable band names.
Well, I've told the story a million times. I don't think anybody's ever printed it, but I was at a party one time with Crosby, Stills, and Nash were there.
Okay.
And David Crosby, I talked to him for a while, and his son was there, and we talked and everything. After dinner, he had a screwed up look on his face, and he walked up to me and he goes, "Now, why the fuck would you want to name your band Butthole Surfers?" Well, it's because Haynes, Walthall, Pincus, and coffee were already taken.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's been name checked on The Simpsons. And
yeah.
It's part of the zeitgeist. What's your response? What do you remember? Your response when you see yourself kind of named on a show like that, Beavis and Butthead, that sort of thing.
I love that. The Beavis and Butthead were when we got. One time they played one of our songs on Beavis and Butthead, and when it just got really solemn and respectful tone, and I forgot who said it, Beavis or Butthead, and they were like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Butthole Surfers." They were really Mike Judge did well.
Yeah,
Mike Judge did well.
You were involved with a band that I think has one of the best names out there as well, the Jack Officers.
There you go. Yeah. It's a good band name.
What other band names do you have that you haven't used yet?
Oh, well, all of the ones that it seems like every band does it. Like what we decided to do was give ourselves a different name for every show. So we did that. I mean, there's so many bands have done that. We were this, and then we were that, and we were this. And we were a bunch of good ones. The Right to Eat Fred Astaire's Asshole was a good one.
Tough to squeeze on a shirt, but yeah.
And then the next one was the Inalienable Right to Eat Fred Astaire's Asshole. And there's a bunch of them. The Ashtray Baby Heads was a good one. If you've ever had a child and had that soft spot on the top of their head, it's a special place. See the Ashtray Baby Heads, the Right to Eat, yeah. There's a bunch. But as far as modern day good band names, I've heard a few, but I can't remember them. I think we're the best.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we just accidentally gave ourselves the best name ever for a band. I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Let me ask you, how many times have you nearly died on stage?
None. But our guitar player, oh my God. There's this great, recently this guy did it's finished, I think, a documentary, Butthole Surfers documentary is about to come out, I think.
The whole truth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And hold on. What were we talking about?
Dying on stage. Potentially.
Oh my God. Okay. So this guy's he filmed us playing. The guy that did the documentary filmed us at CBGB's way back in the day, and some of that footage is in the a little bit of that. I don't know why he didn't include. It may be in there, but there's footage of Paul, our guitar player,
mm-hmm.
and he's playing, and just like occasionally, you make weird movements if you're playing on stage at a Butthole Surfers show.
As one does.
Yeah. And Paul was singing, and all of a sudden he like just exploded and landed on the floor. And like he didn't, like, it wasn't a fiery explosion, but it looked like he did it on, it was like an entertainment move, but he got just a wicked shock on his face from the microphone. And he literally almost died. I mean, he got knocked to the floor. And after the show, we were like talking to the sound man, and we were like, dude, our guitar player got fucking almost shocked to death. And the sound man was like, he was like, which outlet did you plug into? And I said, that one right there. And he goes, you didn't plug into that one, did you?
Odd.
I know, you should, maybe a warning or a
yeah, a little piece of tape over that would have helped a lot.
A little duct tape and do not or something, you know.
There's been several musicians that have died on stage from shock. Some of them recently. There's one South American singer who died, I think, like a year or two ago. Yeah, just a wetness or liquid on the stage and the equipment, and bam.
Wow. Well, you know, how did the kind of soul singer from the 60s and 70s, he got hit by lighting equipment on stage and paralyzed, stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Who is that? But who else has died recently from stagecraft?
Oh boy. I guess the big one I can think of is the guy from Pantera.
Yeah. That guy. I've been waiting for that guy to show up at our show too. Like the angry dude with the gun that's like, why did you cut 30 seconds off of, JJ from Tokyo on your second album? Bam, bam, bam. But that sucked.
God forbid.
Were you a fan of Pantera at all?
Not really. I could listen to a little bit at a time, but it only went so far for me.
I could tell you that I could not identify any Pantera songs. I just couldn't. I would assume they're metal.
Yeah.
And like the muted chord metal. I don't know. I just don't know what style they are.
I was never an angry person, so I couldn't really. I was more goofy. I like the goofy, lyrics rather than the angry, mad lyrics. So I just never could identify with them.
I didn't. I always wonder that about metal bands in general. It's like you're kind of stuck with like worshiping the devil.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, you've probably heard the news today. Ozzy died. Do you have any Ozzy memories?
You said which? No. I just heard that a little while ago, and like just right after it happened, Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm. That's
how my old man died of a Parkinson's-esque disease. They can't really diagnose Parkinson's until you're dead. But there's no blood test for Parkinson's disease, which I'm a big fan. I've got like a joke. It's like you're like confused, and then you go, now what did Lou Gehrig die of? And I know, it's pretty good. It made you snort.
I did. Snorted. That's a snort-worthy joke.
I always forget, but how did no one else has had a disease. Like, wouldn't that just be the ultimate to get a disease named after you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. What would the Gibby Haynes disease be?
That'd be cool if it was revealed at my death that my middle name was Cancer.
Gibby hit in a crosswalk Haynes.
Yeah, I know. There was who was it? There was one of the famous female femme fatales from the 60s that died on a bike wreck. Bicycle.
On a bicycle. Okay.
Yeah. And I forgot who that was. One of the Stones girls but yeah, that would be such a bummer to get. Like, how do you want to die? I'm thinking lightning. Is that the shit?
That
to get
would
struck
be the
by
shit. Yeah. That's right up
there.
there.
Yeah, I know. What else? Like, car wrecks are way overdone.
Or a mob. Have a mob tear you apart. That may be fun.
That's such a rare form of death, though.
Yeah, but there's a lot of footage.
You know what? That actually is a pretty good one. Getting ripped to shreds by a dozen people.
Yeah. Would you rather be ripped to shreds by people or wolves?
Wow. But wolves wouldn't do that.
Well, a pack of them? Pack of them would chase you down, right?
You know, dogs are perhaps and even arguably the greatest hunters in the animal kingdom.
Okay.
They don't give up. And like you said, there's a pack of them. They just keep on coming. Have you seen that advertisement on television for a disease that happens to your hand? And it's when you can't lay your hand flat.
No.
Oh, I forgot what it's called, but
it's like your hands are forever cupped.
Well, they show the inside of people's hands that have this condition, and there's a weird little fold in the middle of their mitt, as you would. Mm-hmm. Like it looks wrong, and you're like, "Oh, if you had that, you wouldn't be able to lay your hand flat, would you?"
So you brought up the documentary. Any idea when we're going to see it?
No, I think they're holding. I don't know. They've made it, and it's I think kind of final cut. Even they may be doing more, and it's like selling it to a distributor. It just apparently takes time. It seems like it's like I've been to several screenings, and like there's the Q&A afterwards all the time. And at the Q&A, they inevitably ask me the first question. It always seems like that. And so at it's like four screenings. So they're like, blah, 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 Gibby question. And then I'm like, all right, how many of you guys cried while watching the movie? And then you hold up your hand, I did, like that. And dude, I'd say 20% of the people that see the documentary cry during it.
Any particular part of this? Well, no spoilers, obviously, but they all cried at the same time, or?
I could hear sniffles. No, it's mainly the death of our drummer, our female drummer.
Mm-hmm.
She's in it a couple of times, and it's known that 5 people that were in the film have died. So it's maybe even 6 at this point. It's like the curse of the Butthole Surfer documentary.
You guys were on so many different record labels. Rough Trade, Capitol, Touch and Go. Do you guys control all the Butthole Surfers music at this point?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we got them all.
Okay.
And nowadays it's so it's weird. Record labels kind of don't exist anymore because they're because of the digital nature of music nowadays. It's like they're they're online labels. They're not record labels.
Yeah, but if you guys wanted to do a vinyl repress, you guys have all rights to be able to. If you wanted to put out a box set, a vinyl box set, you could.
On his way.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
What is that? Is it all the albums, a specific period? What are you thinking?
I don't know what. I don't know exactly what it is. I kind of don't like these guys, the record label guys. I don't know. But it's I forgot. They were a big label back in the day. Matador,
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But yep, box set, got that coming. Oh, how do you feel about remastered, remixed?
Oh, I think it's fine. You know who did it really well was Dead Kennedys. They remixed and remastered. What was the first album? Jesus.
Yeah.
Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. And but they left the old one available too. So if you wanted the old mix, you could still have it. But there was a new updated one that I thought sounded quite good, especially on my system. So as long as you're not completely trying to rewrite history and erasing the old mix, I think it's great.
I agree. It can't be a replacement.
Yeah,
it can't be if it's a replacement. That just sucks. It's like finally we could hear the French horn on whatever. But talking about the record label, I was walking down the street and this dude comes up to me, black guy comes up to me, and he's like, dude, my favorite song of you guys, Negro Observer. They dropped it from the album. So when the guys at Matador had a problem with the word Negro.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the lamest thing ever.
Got it.
So they took it. Oh, that's fine. Then it's their label. They cannot put Negro on their records, that they put out. I'm fine with that. If they've got a problem with a word that benign, just go live your life, dude. God forbid you have a good time. But they attempted. They took it off the internet as well as they could.
So they took the song off, but they didn't some people, maybe they put asterisks or something like that where the name would be, but they took the whole thing off.
They took the whole song off, and then any other they went into they went online and tried to make it not available. I would think that you could just leave it up there as it was. And, it's just, it was weird.
Do you think we'll see the original mix of After the Astronaut remastered?
Yes. You mean that's a whole album.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. Yeah, we were just working on an album cover for that because we were about to release that record on Capitol, and we had an album cover that the record label made us pay for. So we didn't use the painting that was the album cover, and they let Marcy's Playground use the artwork.
Oh, okay. All right. So the painting that you guys had set aside.
So if you want to see what the album cover would have looked like for After the Astronauts, go look through the Marcy's Playground LP collection, and it's got
is it Shapeshifter?
It's got a kind of a country like a Western motif with aliens, with ET mixed in there.
Yeah, there's a Native American smoking a peace pipe with an alien cowboy.
Yes. And Marcy's Playground, they use that for theirs. I don't think they knew. Like, who would do that?
That's bizarre.
Yeah. I don't think they knew. I think someone at the record label said, "You like this? We got this hanging around.
We got clearance on this.
Yeah,
Give it to you for cheap."
Roger.
Wow. Okay. So we're starting to see a lot of activity in kind of the Butthole Surfers kind of legacy, the catalog.
Yeah. With this documentary, we're like kind of coming up with a butthole heavy moment is the concept. So there will be, I say soon, whenever we can, depending on how many people we can get to cry at the screenings. It's hard for me to tell how good it is, but sometimes things are successful. And if the documentary has any kind of success, we're going to experience a little, a fame bubble.
Yeah. A bump.
So,
yeah.
Yes. Which, I could definitely use.
All right. Well, Gibby, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. Thank you for spending some time with us, and we'll promote whatever it is you got to promote. When you guys get sorted on that upcoming box set, you got to come back on the show. We'll talk about records, and again, are always welcome back anytime, mate.
Right on, man.
All right.
Hang in there. Good luck. Be careful.
You too. See you, Gibbs.
Give your kids a hug.
And you too. All right.
All right.
You take care, man. Hope to see you down under. Cheers.
Yep. Bye-bye.
It's just so fun talking to Gibby. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And don't forget, there's a whole nother hour of us chatting only up on our Patreon page, patreon.com/vinyl guide. So if you don't support the show now, now's a great time to start. Jump in there and you get the extra 50 plus minutes of Gibby and I talking smack on all sorts of other topics. And if you're in Europe or the UK or will be in the month of August, don't forget, Gibby is touring. If there's anything the last month taught us with all these legends starting to fall, see your heroes while you can. Put Gibby on that list, especially you folks in Europe and the UK, Helsinki, Estonia, Prague, Berlin, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, London, Birmingham, and Dublin. Tickets at tonedeaftouring.com/Gibby. And that's it for this episode of The Vinyl Guide. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to everyone who's sharing these episodes on social media, putting them on Reddit forums and Facebook groups. And those of you who are writing positive reviews in Apple Podcasts and Spotify, well, that is certainly appreciated as well. We'll be back shortly with a brand new episode. So until we talk next time, you all behave yourselves. And thanks again for listening to The Vinyl Guide podcast. Cheers.